Hello everyone. So today I decided to do a comparison video. I will be comparing the new Kenan with the old original Kenan. I had a sample, I used almost all of it. I have a new one here and the old one here. Had like 5 full wearings of the new one, and today is my second full wearing of the old one. I don't have much inside the tube. There's like one more spray, so I decided, I won't get any more full wears, so I can just lay down my thoughts here and now. I also have a third fragrance. I will talk about it and reveal it later. Let's maybe start with the new one. New Kenan. Well, maybe I should first start with what's in it. Main feature of both Kenans are Chiara wood and Chiara skins in the bottle. The original one had some Chiara inside, and this new one, of course, you won't see it because the dark juice is dark, but I had a flashlight, I looked inside, and yeah, there are some Chiara skins in the bottle. I don't know why Ensar calls them skins, wood doesn't have a skin, animals do. It may be shavings, I would say, but skins sounds cooler, so maybe that's why he used that term. Ensar likes to make his fragrances and ingredients and everything around the house sound cool. So yeah, main ingredient is Chiara skins. This fragrance costs $1,500 for 30 ml. And yeah, the main corporate for this price tag is those before mentioned Chiara skins. So yeah, new Kenan is very vibrant. It has a cooling effect that is provided by Chiara, I assume. For me personally, it is very easy to wear. Even most Ensar Ouds are pretty easy to wear, but I would even call this one mass appealing. Not in terms of smell or structure, but in terms of mass appealingness, if that's a word. I would compare this to Jamaican hamburgers. Both of these fragrances are wearable all day, every day, for basically anyone. The old Kenan also had this cooling effect, obviously, because it also has Chiara, but it is not as mass appealing, and I will explain why by talking about the main differences between these two fragrances. I see 3 main differences, and different opening, different middle, and different base. By that it might sound like I'm saying these are completely different fragrances, and they are not. I can tell this is still Kenan, but it do be having some major differences, even in, I would say, the idea behind the scent. This new Kenan could represent new money. It's fast, it's smooth, it's energizing, it's shimmering, and this is old money. It's rich, it has more character, it's not shouty, but it has substance. What do I mean? And maybe before this comparison I should actually introduce the third actor in this show today. It's Moroccan Maharaja. and I will explain what is this doing here, beside having very similar dark green color. When I first smelled the new Kenan, I have not smelled original. This was my first encounter with Kenan. My first spray and first impression was this synthetic apple note. It's basically the same apple note pulled straightly from Frederick Maul's Promise. So I was surprised, and I was surprised in a negative way, because I find that apple note pretty synthetic, and I don't see what it has anything to do with 1.5 thousand dollars, I'm sorry, Ensar fragrance with Chiara inside. Like with most Ensar Oud fragrances, the bottle needed a little bit time to sit, needed to get a little bit air into the bottle. Everything came down, the apple note subsided. It is still there, but it's more there just to provide juiciness and vibrantness. I don't smell it anymore as a single note. I just smell it in the composition, and by now it's not that bad actually, but I still think that this apple note is out of place. Not as much as I thought when I first sprayed it, but still I think it shouldn't be here. After this, I then got this. Oh, sorry, Morocco. But yet never smelled this at that time point. And I smell this has a green fig opening, and while smelling this green fig opening, I was like, damn, Kenan should have this. This green fig opening in this Kenan in place of the apple note would be just perfect. And this Morocco still has the cooling effect, not as grand as Kenan, but still, it's like I found it quite similar to the Kenan, not too much, but I thought that the opening of this fig would fit perfectly here. And then I got my sample of the original Kenan, and what do you know? This green fig opening and other notes, I assume, is almost spot on opening of the original Kenan. It still has apple note in the note listing, I know, but compared to the synthetic apple note of this fragrance, this is much closer opening to this fragrance. You can say it's surprising, shocking, whatever. I am just saying what I am smelling. Also, there are some more differences, of course. That's the main difference in the top. Now we can go to the mid. The new Kenan is straight up missing one full layer of experience. Let's put it that way. The old version has this herbal texture, herbal green smell. It's like a little bit like maybe animal fur. When it enters your nose, it creates a little bit of traction. It gives some texture, some substance to the mid. It's not very pleasing, let's say. It's more of an artsy touch. It's very noticeable, and it's completely absent from the new version. New version is much more smooth. More spotlight is given to the cooling effect. So basically, again, with my comparisons, I would compare this to a brand new sports car, like 2025 released Lamborghini, while this would be some vintage sought after collector's sports car, I don't know, old Ferrari or something like that. The herbal texture gives this like a little bit of timeless feeling, more artsy, and this missing that layer of herbal notes provides you with more mass appealing and more pleasing and overall smoother experience. So yeah, the new one is all about speed and the old one is all about class, I would say it that way. Now we go to the dry down. In dry down, again, I think the old one wins in terms of you can still feel oud in the dry down. This fragrance is extremely long lasting, not so much projecting the old one, but you can feel the oud texture pretty long on your skin. New one is missing that oud substance in the dry down, and I think it flees away a little bit faster due to not having this let's say last hurrah of the scent on your skin. It disappears altogether, so no a little bit animalic woody facets left on your skin. It just disappears. So yeah, I could say the new one is like cleaned up, dressed up old guy. You can call this a son, and that would be an old father. Why I am still having this bottle here and I still want to talk about it. In terms of structure and the whole vintage sports car feel, this is much closer to original Kenan than the new Kenan. And I have this funny story. I sent a few samples to my friend. I didn't write what are these fragrances, I just numbered them, and I sent him Kenan, Morocco, and some other stuff. He sent me this because we both wanted to compare old and new. And when he came back to me, he was certain that the sample I was marked number 3 is Kenan. In fact, sample number 3 was Morocco. So yeah, he said both of them, when he still didn't know which one is Kenan, he said that none of these smell like exactly like his Kenan bottle that he has. But he is not too mad because the number 3, that is in his opinion Kenan, is still pretty good, close in spirit to the original, and he is very pleased. Well, my friend, I agree. Morocco is surely in spirit pretty close to original Kenan and probably closer than the original in the structure and I think somewhat quality of the whole composition, in spirit at least. So yeah, take it for that what you may. This is probably 4 times cheaper than any of the Kenan iterations. So yeah, if you really like Kenan DNA, what can I say? You can try and find this Morocco. It won't be the same, of course not, but you can try and feed your hunger for Kenan by getting something similar and quite a bit cheaper. This new one is still pretty good. I like it. I find some features here even better than the original, even if that may be not the vibe of this video up till now. But I find that the smoothness, the enhanced cold mentholic feel of the fragrance, maybe even puts more light on Chiara effects on itself. It's more modern, it's easier to wear, and while I personally don't care if fragrance is too wearable or not too wearable, if I enjoy it, I enjoy it. But I must admit that this new Kenan I would wear to office every day if it wasn't this costly. And there's something to be said about fragrances that manage to be wearable and also interesting. I am very sensitive to boring fragrances, I don't like them, and this is definitely not boring. That's is an achievement on its own. But and it's also still has plenty of facets from the original Kenan. But again, to my personal opinion, this should have been named like Kenan and some Vietnam region in the name also, like Ensar likes to do it. So let it be Kenan Hanoi or something like that. Just because I think it's more of a flanker than a remake. Yet, if you think that this old fragrance is worth its original retail price, given how landscape has changed over the years and the materials are getting harder to get, if you think this is worth the money, you will probably will think the same about this. But if you're running low on your original bottle and you're like just looking to restock, I'm afraid this won't cut it. Even the Morocco version, I think, would feed your itch better than the new Kenan. Overall, I'm happy I have this fragrance. I would be happy even to have a little bit more. 15 ml is not that much, and given the price, it's obviously a special occasion fragrance only. But if we look at the profile and the construction of the scent, I can totally see this more of a everyday scent to relax and to wear it in office and not to scare your colleagues away with your oud and musk and all these things, because it's completely mass appealing scent for me. Of course, if you come from Bleu de Chanel or something like that, it's not, but if you're coming from Bleu de Chanel, I guess there's almost 100% chance you have no clue about this channel anyways. So yeah, that was my comparison video of Kenan and Kenan 2025. Thank you for watching. As always, if you like my content, please subscribe, please leave a comment. I'm very happy to see more and more people tuning in. So yeah, more videos, more reviews are coming. Please have a good evening and goodbye.